I've heard that the Disneyland and DisneySea in Tokyo is unparalleled. Well, unfortunately, the reviews are right. But why is it so much better in Japan? This is such a bold claim to make. I did not expect for this video to blow up, but it is close to 100,000 views, and a lot of you are new to my channel. So I wanted to make another video about Disney because I can't stop thinking about it all these months later. But my last video was a really comprehensive review of Tokyo Disneyland and a little bit about DisneySea. I was mainly comparing Disneyland in Tokyo to Disneyland in Anaheim, California. But for this video, I'm hoping to convince you to book that ticket to Japan, which, by the way, the yen is completely collapsed right now, so it is a very cheap time to go as a tourist. Here are 5 completely unique reasons to go to Disney in Japan. Make new friends and keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. How about make new rides, but keep the old ones? If you grew up in California like me and you loved going on the Splash Mountain ride, the only one left in the world now is actually in Japan. This is the last Splash Mountain left in the world. Splash Mountain was first introduced at Anaheim's Disneyland in 1989, featuring characters from the 1946 animated film Song of the South. Once again, the paid-for rides are worth every penny. In the United States, Splash Mountain is being replaced with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. But in Japan, it still exists in Critter Country. This ride is about 10 minutes long, and when I was a kid, I called this the log ride. You board a log boat and be prepared for a 45-degree drop down a 16-meter high waterfall. Splash Mountain is an absolute classic, and this is the only place left in the world where you can enjoy it. So while they have other familiar rides like Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion, I wanted to point this one out because this is now exclusive to Japan. Now, I talked about making some new rides, right? Well, the Beauty and the Beast Dark Trackless ride is by far the best ride that I've ever been on in my life. Not only is this one of the longest rides that I've ever been on at close to 8 minutes, but it's an incredibly smooth ride with that trackless technology that I was talking about. So as you can see, the line for this was pretty long, but this is a Disney Premier Access ride, which means that for a fee, you can select a designated time to be admitted and enjoy certain experiences, which I highly recommend for this because we shaved down our waiting time to about 10 minutes. And also, waiting in lines at Disneyland or DisneySea in Japan are not boring really at all. The lines are pretty interactive, especially for this ride. Granted, most of this video that I took was actually waiting in line because I wanted to enjoy the actual ride experience. And so this just shows you that even waiting in line, we were transported into this hall where they had a projection and crazy animatronics showing Belle and the Beast. And this was all just part of the line. So the Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast, or the Beauty and the Beast ride that I keep talking about, is about 8 minutes long, and it's located in Fantasyland. You board magical cups that dance in rhythm to the well-known music from Beauty and the Beast, and they take you through scenes depicting the story of the animated film. One of the things that is so magical about this ride is how smooth it is, and yes, you really do feel like your teacup is dancing with the scenes and the characters that you go through. It's unlike any ride that I've ever experienced, and this ride alone is worth booking the ticket to Japan. This opened in 2020 during the COVID pandemic, so I don't think it got the love or attention that it deserves. I can't say enough good things about this ride. This probably should be number 1 on the list, but it is one of the newer rides and definitely exclusive to Japan. Reason number 3, and yes, it's another ride, but isn't this the reason that we wait in long lines at theme parks? This is another ride that's exclusive to Japan, and this one's at DisneySea. This is the Journey to the Center of the Earth. I have to be careful about what rides I go on because I'm pretty prone to motion sickness, but this one is well worth it. This ride is completely unique. The Journey to the Center of the Earth ride is about 3 minutes long, and like I said, it's exclusive to Disney DisneySea. It's one of, if not the most popular rides in the park. This might be a ride that you want to start your day with since it's so popular. Journey to the Center of the Earth is revered by theme park fans all around the globe. It opened in 2001. And it is by far one of the best rides I've ever been on. If I could repeat any ride that we did at DisneySea, this would be the one that I would want to ride more than once. There was so much to look at and so much to process, there's no way you'd be able to understand everything after just one ride. This ride has a top speed of 47 miles per hour and it starts slowly but picks up speed in the middle. There'll also be a pretty memorable drop at the end. As you can see in this video, I've already named 3 incredible rides that are totally exclusive to Japan. What are you waiting for? Okay, reason number 4, the Japanese style Disney food. We love the food at theme parks, of course, but I was very impressed with the food in Japan at Disneyland and also DisneySea. Not only was getting your food incredibly efficient, the lines weren't that long, everything was super cheap and it had a Japanese flair. Some of the restaurants weren't busy at all, and for the ones that were busy, their lines were very efficient. The packaging was very fun and colorful, and even the food looked totally unique. Everything was extremely cheap here compared to any other theme park you're gonna go to.
$30 for 2 people. Kind of unheard of.
Even the Disney buffet at the nearby resort was amazing. Some of the top recommended items that we got to try, the little green men dumplings. These tiny mochi dumplings look just like the aliens from Toy Story, and they're filled with chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla custard. This was one of my favorite meals. It's a shrimp sandwich, but look at the bun. It is shaped like a glove and it is so fluffy. I'm not exactly sure how they make this bread, but it was so enjoyable to eat and very aesthetically pleasing. And honestly, there are some truly viral foods from these parks. We didn't even try a fraction of the foods that they have to offer, so I will definitely be trying more foods when we go back there and hopefully getting a better review. But the point is that the food is a lot cheaper here and it is very high quality. And reason number 5, the theming in Japan is unparalleled, particularly at DisneySea. Disneyland, of course, is going to mirror what you find in Anaheim, but DisneySea is grandiose. There's deliberate design, incredible attention to detail, and impressive theming all throughout the park. So of course the rides are great, but the theming is what actually transports you. In fact, at one point I thought I was back in Italy because it looked so realistic. So theming is reason number 5, because isn't this a theme park after all? While Disneyland is great in its own right and has some amazing rides, the theming at DisneySea might be the best in the world. It really transports you from where you geographically are to where it wants you to imagine being. Exploring DisneySea, you'll be able to enter King Triton's castle and explore with Captain Nemo. In fact, the only reason you might be reminded that yes, you're still in Japan is hearing a cast member speak. Even the wait lines leading up to the rides were themed and very interesting to walk through. Either park you go to, you will definitely feel the magic, and the immersive, emergent experience will make you want to come back. And here's a bonus reason. This is the only place that you'll find a ticket so cheap to a Disneyland. Now, I discussed this in my last video. This is because Disney in Japan is actually run by the Oriental Land Company. So it's licensed by Disney, but actually not run by Disney, which makes everything much cheaper. Therefore, much easier on your and my wallet. And I'm actually going to Paris in October, and so I've never been to Disneyland in Paris, but you know that I have to go now. I have actually heard from a couple people that it's not that good, that it's not worth going, but I'll be the judge of that, and so I'm really looking forward to going there. And I'm already planning my trip back to Japan. I'll probably go at the same time that I did this year, which was from April 6th to April 25th. That was in my opinion, probably the best time to go. We got to see the cherry blossoms and it was really good weather. But one thing that hadn't opened while I was there was the Disney Fantasy Springs, so I definitely have to check that out. Japan is already calling me back. I hope that you liked this video. If this has encouraged you to book a trip to Japan, please leave a comment for which park you would rather go to, Disneyland or DisneySea. Thanks so much for watching Elevated, and I'll see you in the next video.